I studied with Kerry James Marshall, and I studied with a number of really generous, strong artists in graduate school, but certainly Kerry did have the biggest impact on me. One of the reasons I think is that Kerry's personality, I mean, if you've heard him lecture or seen him in an interview, he has very firm positions, you know, and he's very clear about sharing his positions with you. So I can say these, you know, Kerry's principle. So Kerry would say to me, don't use your materials to depict your imagery. Make your imagery in the way that you use your materials. That took me like 4 years to like really understand what that meant, you know, and how I could, you know, revise my process to encompass this idea. So he gave me these like, you know, pearls of wisdom, these guiding principles that I can go back to and apply to my own critique of my work. And I think honestly most teachers, most professors, they don't have as clear of notions, and part of that is some sense of wanting to allow students to develop them on their own. But for somebody like me, Kerry's very strong attitudes really gave me something to kind of like work within, to work out. Certainly the scale of the work, you know, Kerry really pushed me to work large. I was working large, but to think about that as a kind of necessity, even as I was living in places where maybe it was hard to work large. You know, he used to say work to the outer limits of your resources. One of the other biggest thing is just the ambition. Like Kerry is so ambitious. You know, he really had a clear goal in his mind about what he wanted to achieve. I don't think I've ever had that kind of clarity, honestly. I tend to be sort of, you know, working it out as I go, a more general notion as opposed to a clear plan. You know, Kerry to a large extent was my artistic education.